Isn't that a great talk? We're going to sing a song since we're live. And by the way, this is for all of you live streaming people. You often don't get to see the entire filled up sanctuary here. You see the rows, and some of them look empty, and I've had people say, well, how many people do you have there? And I said, well, we had 40 last week. And they say, well, we sure didn't see them. It's true, you don't get to see them all. There's lots of seating against the walls, and sometimes when we begin, it's not as full as it is when we end. That happens too. So what we really want, though, is for you to enjoy it if you're live streaming. We certainly want you to enjoy it here in person too. So let's start off with a song. I want you to help me sing it, okay? Step into the arms of love. It's a feeling you can take hold of. Join us in our celebration. Feel the grace flow through your heart. Embrace the friendship and connection. When you become a part of healing and inspiration, balance and faith, prayer and contemplation, freedom and grace. I say amen, 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 amen. Please join. I say amen, 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 amen. And so it is. Thank you so much. Mitch, that was beautiful. I like the chord changes were just a little different, and I really loved it, by the way. I did. It adds spice. To me, it adds spice, you know. So welcome, you guys. This is Unity of Pasadena, and I am Reverend Greg Dorst. And we're going to start with prayer. If you'd just take a centering, deep breath and release it. Let's do one more just to release everything it took to get here. Relaxing into the moment, we get a chance to feel the presence of Spirit, the presence of God. And that feeling starts maybe in our minds and moves to our heart, where we absolutely know that we're cared for, that we're loved, that we're held closely, that we are one with this power that does the holding, that we are one with this amazing creative resource that allows us to live this magnificent life, making choices, receiving responses, interacting with those magnificent faces of God, which is each and every one of you here at this particular location and everywhere outside of it. For we are expressions of the divine. In unity, we see ourselves as that which God is, being made by that source of all things. We are individualized aspects of the one, that singular source. That's why we call ourselves unity. And so we just revel in today with great thanksgiving that we have people here that greet us, that take care of everything that's necessary for this space to run perfectly. And we just bless our board of trustees for doing that exact job. We're grateful for all of the work they put into it. We're grateful for our prayer chaplains who hold the light for us, not only today, but every single day. We're so grateful for our musicians that bring a spirituality to the moment which is absolutely thrilling. It just drives us to greater heights. And we're so thankful for each and every volunteer that does sound and streaming and PowerPoint, and those that are just the light that you bring. We love it. We love Sundays. And so it's with this great thanksgiving that I release these words into the law of mind, knowing that they are already done. And please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. So we're going to sing a holy, 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 right? All right, well, let's do about 12 parts of harmony.
How many do I have?
6.
Okay, well, 12 parts. Please stand. We are holy, holy, holy. Nice. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are whole. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love that lives in me. Sing it out. I am holy, holy, holy. Woo! I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. Bring it to a prayer. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole.
I say it every time, but I'm amazed at this ad hoc choir here, this thing that just shows up on Sundays and does these things perfectly. I don't get it. How do we do this? Oh, I do get it. We just allow Spirit to take over. We just allow Spirit to just divinely lead us into those things that create harmony in our lives. Not just a song, but in our lives. So as I said, and this is for the streaming people too, we welcome you. And especially if you're new, we welcome you. If we haven't seen you in a while, it's because we can't see you. But we are so, so happy that you're here. And if you're new here in this beautiful sanctuary, we welcome you too. I'm Reverend Greg Dorst, and Unity of Pasadena is a special place. It really is. I have to tell you that many people walk in here and they say the feel is incredible. And it is incredible. It's not just the feel of the sanctuary, it's the feel of the personalities and the loving, caring individuals that are here, bringing that source and resource of love with them and so willing to share it. Now that's really an important aspect, so willing to share it. And so we're just really happy to be here. We have something that I like to say on Sundays that is a statement of unity. So I'd like you to repeat after me. There's only one thing. It may look like more than one thing. Oh, it may feel like more than one thing. But it's only one thing. Expressing as you, expressing as me, and everything we see. Yeah, this is an amazing day because it's Sunday. Sundays are always amazing. The music, the fellowship, the message, the prayers, the readings. I mean, we just have a ton of things that we do, and we love the idea that we can connect with each other while we do it. So let's talk about who we are here, and let's start with a unity blessing. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. You don't have to be any particular type of individual to be loved and blessed and welcomed here at Unity. We just honor diversity. We honor each and every person who steps into this space to find connection and give of themselves. And we're so thankful for that. We also have a statement of faith I'd like you to join me in. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe. God the good omnipotence. And I am one with that presence and power. So we get a chance to talk a little bit about our community and what it is we stand for, our vision, our mission, our core values. Who's going to be doing that today for us? Bill, come on up, come on up. Bill is one of our prayer chaplains, and he's also on the board of trustees, and we thank you for doing all of those things for us, Bill. So let me put this microphone right here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Greg. Oh, I want to thank all of you. My name is Bill Marino. Hello, Bill. Hi. And I love Sundays. So today, we'll start with our vision statement. If you read with me. Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our mission statement puts feet on our vision, which is transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love using practical spiritual principles. And our core values, our guiding principles are creating community, living love, teaching truth, serving spirit. Now, so you'll find these statements in your new November monthly bulletin, along with a monthly calendar and more. I'd like to bring your attention to the financial summary for September. Our expenses for repairs and maintenance were very high with the mold abatement and the ceiling repair in the foyer. But our insurance company paid for everything except $1,000. That was our deductible. So we still have a little bit more to do to put new tiles in the ceiling, and that's going to be happening shortly. Also, remember, we have 2 tickets to the Rose Parade with VIP parking, and we started bidding on this on October 21st. And this is going to go until noon this coming Saturday. Now, these are valuable tickets. Now, we have a sheet here, and if you don't find it, ask myself or who else? Clifta, and we'll bring the sheet to you. Also, Advent starts on December 13th. And here are third. Okay, there's one. Check. All right. So this is the Advent book. And Advent does start on December 3rd. And if you do not have one when you walked in here, please see Barbara or Sandy, and you'll get through. Also, let's see. What do I have? Oh, November birthdays. Do we have anybody with a November birthday? Oh, would you like to have happy birthday, son? Birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. You lift it, Bill. I love birthdays. So, yeah. It's like my dad would say, it's a great day if you're out amongst the living. So today, hospitality is the first Sunday of the month with Team A, B, and C is hosting us today. Next week, the second Sunday, is Team D through J will take the lead. Now, not only do we bring food in and serve it to you, we also clean up afterwards. So if anyone has a little bit of time, wants to help cleaning up, that would be wonderful. Let's see. Today is at noon, is tea time with the chaplains. And the chaplain that's going to lead us is Michelle today. How many of here have attended tea time with the chaplains? Yay. A lot of you. So for you that have not done this before, it's an opportunity to connect on a deeper, more personal level with God and each other. So please stick around and you'll be inspired. And let's see, our centering prayer is usually this time, is a time of prayer and meditation. It's held every Thursday from 5:30 to 6:30. However, we have had a rental this coming Thursday evening. So only this one time, the centering prayer group will meet this coming Friday. So if you've never attended it on a Thursday, now you have no excuse. So we're busy doing something else. So maybe this Friday is your chance to experience this group. So please come. It's a wonderful meditation. This is something that's very special too. It's Reverend Greg is going to be teaching a 2-hour class on Unity, a Way of Life, this Saturday, November 11th, from 10 o'clock to noon. We'd like to know how many handouts to make, so please complete your online or personal sign-up today. There's no fee, but a love offering is accepted. We will have a full 2 hours, so it will be a no-rush exploratory time with Reverend Greg. That's right. Okay, here's another save the date. If you've already marked your calendar for Wednesday, December 6th, check that time is now 7 p.m. The Gillette family and special guests will entertain us. Michelle will perform her 10-minute play, A Bargain with God. And
A deal with God.
A deal with God?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Higher than a bargain.
Ooh. Same price.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Okay, the official kickoff for the release of this hard copy of Marilyn's Roth meditation book and CD will be held also. Come start the Christmas season with lighting of the trees. Now, moving into prayer and meditation. Helen is our prayer chaplain of the day, and Michelle will now share with us the daily word.
Good morning. And I'm looking forward, everyone, to come to tea time. We have tea. However, we will not be serving tea with crumpets. We'll just be serving tea and prayer. Today's daily word is transitions. I flow with life's changes. Looking at my image in a mirror, I see myself at times when my life was changing. I may see the grinning child who lost a tooth for the first time, or the proud student on graduation day. Perhaps I recall my ambitions as I embarked on my career. Maybe I feel a tinge of sadness revisiting the pain of the loss I felt during my more difficult transitions. As I have grown spiritually, I have learned to flow with life's transitions. I know that during the most challenging times, God remains a constant presence. I will always be divinely protected and one in God with the people I have loved. Moving willingly and gratefully through my transitions deepens and strengthens my awareness of God and of myself as a divine being. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. And so it is.
One step at a time, in beauty may I walk. Every step is holy, every breath is life. Every moment precious, when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me every step is holy. The soul that beholds beauty becomes beautiful. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious, when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me every step is holy. Holy, holy. Everyone, every breath, every step is holy. Prepare your mind today to receive the best that life has to offer. What you allow is what will continue. And if you don't like the path that you are on, change it. Start paving a new one. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious, when held up to the light. Every heart connected, each the face of God. Grace has shown me that every step is holy, 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 holy. Holy, 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 holy Everyone, every breath, every step is holy. Every step is holy. Repeat. Every step is holy. Yes. Every step is holy. Every step is holy. Yes.
That was beautiful, Christy and Mitch. Beautiful. Thank you. So good morning, everyone. So today, the subject is practicing adaptability. And the fluidity of water is a beautiful reminder for us to be fluid as well. Fluid like a river, so that we can adapt to any situation. And there's an American playwright, Rajiv Joseph, and he says, all water is holy water. And we are actually made of water. Our body is 66% water. Our lungs are, and I didn't know this, 90% water, and our brains are 95% water. This is according to www.maine.gov. So they better be right, okay? So, and in the Tao, number 78, the first line states, nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water. So we're going to take some 3 deep breaths, but not just yet. And in preparation for a meditation, I just invite you to sit back and get comfortable, adjust your shoulders, wiggle around a bit, plant your feet on the ground, and just open up your heart space. Just even a little. It doesn't have to be hard work. Just give your heart a bit of a thought and it'll start opening up. And now let's take our first deep cleansing breath in and release. And drop your shoulders just a tiny bit. And take a second deep breath in, cleansing breath. And release. And if you will join me on a little journey to a brook, a narrow little river where the water is flowing over the rocks and you are hearing the beautiful sounds of the water traveling down over the creek. Just imagine it if you can. It makes the gentle sound of water as it falls with bits of splashes and turns that it makes around the rocks as it's traveling down this creek. And now let's take our third deep cleansing breath in and out. And you can even pretend that you are the water, that you are the river traveling down this brook. And you are happy and carefree, as if you are a child on a slide or perhaps hanging on the monkey bars. You're fluid and you're carefree. And as you keep imagining the river, either sitting by it, hearing it, or being the river itself, whatever you choose, there's no right or wrong in this. It's a perfect time to let go of things too, things that you've been holding on to. Maybe there's forgiveness that needs to happen in your life, forgiving someone who has hurt you. And it's okay to let it go. And if you can't forgive totally, just take a little bit of forgiveness and just give that a try. The creek will absorb anything you want to release and let go. Once and for all, it will be absorbed and neutralized by the creek. And this is also a good time to forgive yourself. Just let it go. Let the creek handle it. Whatever it is that you might have done in the past, you did the best you could at that time. And now it's time to effortlessly release it and let go. Any amount you want, you are still in charge. You have the right to be free and to be whole. And you are safe right here and right now. And know that all is well as we now go into 2 minutes of silence. Now, if you will, get yourself ready to return back here to the sanctuary and say thank you to the brook. Say goodbye to it and thank it for helping you relax and feel more free. You are very likely more calm and renewed and refreshed than you were when you started. And the writer Richard Lynch, in his book, The Secret of Health, he says this: forgiveness is essentially a function of the mind. It clears the channel through which divine mind flows. May divine mind flow in you, through you, in you, and as you for the entire week. And so it is. Amen. Thank you.
I'm through asking where I'm going. I've been asking all of my life. I've grown tired of all this wondering when everything seems to turn out right. So when my mind needs something to do, wants to know the future, I whisper this: I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be this way. Here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance, opening up, knowing I'm in good hands. And here goes everything, it's all on the line. But I'm not afraid this time. Some say it's crazy, some say naive, to close my eyes and take that leap. But I know better, 'cause I believe even in the dark my soul can see. So when my mind plays its usual games, oh, my answer is always the same. Here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance, I'm opening up, knowing I'm in good hands. And here comes everything, it's all divine. 'Cause I know the truth this time. Yes, I do. Here goes nothing, I'm taking a chance, I'm opening up, knowing I'm in good hands. Here comes everything, it's all in one mind. And I'm not afraid this time, 'cause I know the truth this time. And I'm not afraid this time, 'cause I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. We're okay. We've always been, and we'll always be that way.
Well, I think there's a whole lot of perfect going on here today, you know? I mean, first of all, you are. All of you are. And I know your perfection, even if you don't. But I got to tell you, man, the meditation was insanely good. Really, Helen, you just cracked me open. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. The music has been incredible. I mean, it's been right on, you know, for the topic, and I appreciate that so very much. You know, right down to things that you might not notice because you might not have the experience with certain writers and musicians that they have and I have. But if you know Gary Lynn Floyd and if you know Karen Drucker, you know what they sound like, you know how they write. And when they write a song together, it doesn't sound like either of them, which is really amazing. They have to adapt to one another. You see, Karen Drucker does a lot of chants. She likes the chant. She likes people to be able to join in with her on these chants. And I think there's real value to that. Gary Lynn Floyd is a melodic kind of guy. And when they get together, wow. I mean, they put something together that's not all him and not all her. I think it's just magnificent. I love it. The theme for the month is Be Like Water. And Helen just totally nailed it with the stream and the river, with the flowing water, with the adapting to every circumstance. I mean, you've been around rivers before that are moving slowly, and it's a lazy feel. You can barely see that they're moving, and then you've been around them that are truly rapids. I mean, they're moving very, very quickly. You wouldn't want to get in it and try and swim in it, because I don't care how strong a swimmer you are, if you get dashed up upon the rocks, there's trouble. But it's beautiful to listen to and beautiful to see. But those rocks don't bother the water at all. They don't bother the water at all. In fact, the waterfall doesn't bother the water at all. If you've ever been to Niagara Falls, you can see that certain things are going on there that are just so illustrative of what water is all about, the adaptive nature of water. I mean, it practices adaptability all the time. Here's this beautiful flowing river that falls off of a shelf. On its way down, it starts to create mist that rises instead of falls. The weight of the water as it lands creates another set of misting. The white water below creates a roiling, which is absolutely beautiful. You wouldn't want to be down there just swimming either. But a couple of 100 yards down the way, everything's cool again. I mean, it just adapts to whatever it's given. And it's cold up there on the border of New York and Canada. And if you've ever been up there in the winter, that same water that flows freezes. I mean, the weather doesn't even bother it. I love it. What an adaptable substance that water is. And then when it gets too hot, what happens? I mean, the hydrogen and oxygen molecules somehow find their separate ways. They lift up into the air and they form pockets of water in the sky, which eventually rain once again. And I mean, water can do it all, can't it? I was thinking about water and all the things it can do and how it adapts to every single situation while I was preparing for this talk. And as you probably know, whenever I think about something very long, something new always pops up. So I wrote a little something about water. It's only a few lines, but for me, it's pretty cool. I like to share these things with you when I like them. Sometimes I don't, but they all end up in the book of Greg anyway, because just because I don't like them doesn't mean they're not any good. So down the line, I can look at them when I've changed, when I've adapted to life, and maybe they're good. Maybe they're really good. Maybe it's what I need to read. So here goes nothing. Adapting with grace, seemingly never in control. In every circumstance, I find my way. I'm a mystery, always present in many forms. I learn to yield and bend, but never break. By design, I am born to give life. I am nature's own daughter. You know me as water. So I love this idea of adaptability and what it brings, what the whole demand that we adapt brings to our lives. It's been going on for a long time. Humans have had to adapt. Things show up that we don't want to show up. Things in the physical world cause us trouble. But we always have the ability to adapt first mentally and then have it move us to however we need to adapt physically, because that's where it starts, The adaptation starts within, always adapting within. Now, Paul, when he was penning Romans, had this idea of adaptability too in mind when he said, "Do not be conformed to this world," which to me says, hey, you better have a little bit of adaptability in you here, and don't just try and be like other people. But be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Let's bring something new. That by testing you may discern. Now that's my favorite part. See, by testing, meaning you're going to fail. You're going to run up against something sometimes that does not suit you, and you're going to have to change and adapt or adjust. So he's saying that he knows you're going to be doing things, coming up against circumstances that you're not happy with, so adjust and change. A renewal of your mind may be necessary once you discern that it's not for you, or that it may not be the will of God. For he goes on to say, we must find what is good and acceptable and perfect. Hey, that's always our goal, isn't it? And those words are really interesting too, because good and acceptable are subjective. What's good and acceptable to you? Perfect may not be as subjective, but I think it's subjective, because perfect is what's happening all the time if you can adjust your mind and adapt to it, you see. I have a hard time when I look in the mirror saying, man, you're perfect, But I am in this moment, you see. I'm the perfect Greg for the moment, always the perfect Greg for the moment. Each of you are the perfect you for the moment. It's really great stuff. So each of us has a story, you guys. Each of us has a story. And we get a chance to tell that story once in a while. I don't know if you tell it to other people or you tell it to yourself, but I know that when I tell it to other people, it is sort of a rendition of what I've told myself many times about my life. This story that we have has within it always, and nobody has lived a life that doesn't have some tragedy, some heartbreak, some difficulty, some circumstances that pop up with relationships or health or just with a general mood. When we tell that story, if we tell it without the, let's say, adjusting to those things or the adapting to those things, to what is, or let's say the recovery from those things that may have been really, really difficult, if we tell that story to ourselves or to anybody else without that recovery, readaptation, readjustment to what's happened in our lives, it can be crippling. I guess I need an example for that. So I have a friend, a great friend. He and I played guitars together and wrote songs together, and it was one of those Gary Lynn Floyd, Karen Drucker things where I wrote and sang in a certain style, and he wrote and sang in a different style, and when we got together, it was something brand new, something really fun. And we surfed together, we spent time together, we traveled together, we'd hop in my Volkswagen van and go down to Mexico and surf in Mexico. He was an oceanographer. He was on the Scripps boat, one of the Scripps boats for oceanographic research, and he would travel around the world. And he developed this relationship with a beautiful woman here in the United States, and planned to get married, so he got engaged to be married, and then he had to go off for a 6-month trip around the world on the boat. And when he got back, his fiancée had decided that she was going to marry somebody else. He was gone for 6 months. I mean, he could not accept that this was happening because it was a friend of his, and he has all these deep-seated ideas about what friends should do and be. And that's difficult for him, but he couldn't accept that this love of his life was going to be with somebody else and not him. Now, this was when he was 25 years old. He is 2 years older than I am. He's 70 years old now, and he's never married. He has been somewhat of a hermit for those years. He's been less involved in the things that he loved to do. He stopped surfing and decided that he was going to move to Montana and find a place where he could just sort of be alone. He sends me videos all the time of sad songs. I mean, he is still very, very sad. There's been no real adaptation or adjustment in his life for this tragic circumstance that's haunted him his entire life. So his inability to find something in the recovery from this situation, to move forward or to become more vibrant as a result of this tragic emotional situation for him, has kept him in a space of sadness. His inability to move forward has kept him in a space of sadness. I think that's tragic in and of itself. I truly do. I think that each and every one of us that have suffered in ways in this life that are recoverable and have moved toward recovery, we somehow become more in touch with who we are. Now, I want you to follow this for a second. If everything unfolds absolutely perfectly all your life, there's no need to adjust. There's no need to adapt. There's no need to even know who you are. But once you run into tragedy, once you run into difficulty, once you have a life's experience that's real, I mean, it cuts you to the bone. It changes everything in your life. You have to find a way through it. And when you do, you get in touch with your authentic self. We've used that phrase before in talks around here. You get in touch with your authentic self. I dare say that until I had to move through and adapt and adjust because of difficulties in my life, I didn't know who I truly was at core. I didn't know. The resources that you've got to pull out of yourself in order to get through some of these situations and circumstances make you a brand new, different person, like water flowing over the rocks, purifying itself. We, as we live life, are thrown across the rocks ourselves. Eventually, if we can look at it in this way, purifying ourselves, becoming something different than we were before, moving forward, stronger in fact, stronger and better. But to stay in that sadness, in that tragic life. And by the way, there's a payoff for him because he gets to sit and feel bad. And I think he's gotten used to that. I think he has. So as we adjust and as we move forward, we find that we can glean some things about ourselves that we had never known. When did you become aware of who you are authentically? When did you become aware of that person that you call, I don't know, Amanda or Basha or Mitch or Jackie? When did you become aware of who you really were? Was it somehow connected to some difficulty in your life where you had to pull yourself out, pull yourself through it? A lot of people that I meet are in recovery. A lot of people that I meet are moving through some things that have happened to them in life. And I'm not saying just in recovery from alcohol or drugs, but in recovery from trauma, in recovery from tragedy, in recovery from something else that's plagued them. And they've had to find a new way to move forward. And in order to do that, they had to figure out what was inside of them. And when they took a look at what was inside of them, they had a chance to say, I like that. I'm keeping it. I don't like that. I'm changing it. This pushes me in a direction I don't want to go. This makes me feel like I'm tragically stuck in a hole, I'm going to make a different choice. You get a chance to do that. But you got to be willing to survey yourself in the adjustment and adaptive period of time. You have to be willing to do that. I was not here last week, and you guys were blessed with Reverend Dr. Carol Bliss. And I mean blessed with her. She's on. Hello, Carol. She's my spiritual sister, and I have learned so much from her. She is magnificent. She brings an energy that is just absolutely beautiful, wonderful. She adapts to life every single day. Every morning she wakes up, she adapts to life in her own way. You know, she doesn't live in yesterday. She's off and going to someplace new. She truly is. And if you follow her on Facebook, which is a pretty cool thing, you get to see every single day where she's been, because she'll tell you. And she'll tell you in pictures. Now, she is one of the most effective communicators I have ever known in my life. In fact, as I first met Carol, I'd sit back and say to myself, wow. And then say to her, I want to be like you. And she'd spend time, helping me to become more like her. And so she had a stroke, and she talks about that, and she adjusted in a beautiful, magnificent way. She moves forward in a way that is just fantastic. She is healing every moment of every day, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, knowing who she is. And sometimes today she says to me, I want to be like that, as she points her finger to me, and I say, well, I'm really more like you than I am me. So imagine that. I love you, Carol. Thank you for taking care of everybody. It's been absolutely terrific. So a story for you. I was going to tell you where I was when Carol was here. I was at, and you're going to just think, what a difficult thing, Greg. I don't know how you did it. I was in Malibu. How did you get through that, Greg? I mean, seriously. I was in Malibu, up high on a cliff, watching the waves break. I was the retreat master for about 32 lawyers who are trying to recover from issues that have created difficulties in their lives. And of course, I can relate to lawyers with difficulties because I'm a lawyer and I had a bunch of them. But it was a beautiful thing, and I got a chance to work with them in a particular workshop that I love. This is called the I Believe workshop, and what I did was I put together about 10 different words that people who are in this workshop had to define for themselves today. What do I believe about God? What do I believe about life? What do I believe about love? What do I believe about infinity or the eternal? What do I believe about forgiveness? I mean, all of these things had to be answered by people in this workshop. Only they didn't have to do it alone. This is the beauty of it. We split into twos. And when the workshop was over, I asked the question, did anybody make a new friend? Oh, man. Just brand new friends. You can't believe how close we are after having had these discussions around these things. And then I asked the question that I really wanted the answer to was, did anybody change what they thought they believed based upon what your partner said in your discussions? Everybody adopted something from somebody else about big issues in life, about what they believe. Everybody found a new way to move forward through their stuff as they listened to somebody else's stuff. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that amazing? We actually become better people by communicating and connecting with others, sharing at a very, very deep level. The person that I shared with brought so much beauty to these definitions. I definitely changed my definitions of a lot of these words that bring an emotion around the big things in life. And then we had a chance. We had a chance to share about things that were specific to our own lives. And he shared something that I thought should be shared today. By the way, his name's Paul. He's not the Paul that wrote the verse in Romans. But he's just as smart, really. He said, I've been working in the same law firm for 48 years, and I should be retiring. I don't know how. I don't know how to retire. I don't know how to do something different. I'm just not sure how to, change things from checking the boxes every single day that I have to check in order to be in my chair at the law office and do the things that I need to do at the law office, to the uncertainty of what's going to unfold today. I can't check any boxes. I don't know if I'll even succeed at it. I mean, very, very open about this. And he said, so I've decided to do this. I've decided just to do what's in front of me. Just to do what God sets in front of me. That's all. Whatever is placed in front of me, I'm going to do. Whatever I'm supposed to do that's in front of me, I'm going to take a hold of and do the best I possibly can, no matter whether it's in my seat at work or my seat at home or my place at the table with my family. I'm just going to do what God sets in front of me. And I said, my God, I'm changing my definition of faith based upon what you said. Changing it. Just do what's in front of you. Just adjust every single moment to make sure that you do the best you possibly can. What faith, what trust, what beauty in life as it unfolds. And then not push away the experience, but accept it and say, as Paul says, make adjustments if you need, but this is the real thing. The experience of life. Because otherwise, you'll never find the good, the true, and the beautiful. You'll never feel as if your life is perfect. And you could, if you allow yourself, live in the tragedy of a broken heart rather than learn how to move forward and accept the beauty of the love that's here in front of you. Oh, I love this stuff. Thanks for being water today. Really. I mean, water is just a beautiful metaphor, isn't it? I love it. Jackie and I live near water, and Carol lives near water. She lives right there in Naples on the ocean, and we live near water, and it's just been an amazing thing. Water attracts the most amazing and beautiful animals, and seabirds, and lake birds, and people. So thank you. When I say I love you, what that means is that space in me, which is love, recognizes that love in you. And together we create this amazing thing, which is a God connection. We oftentimes say it this way: Namaste. Oh, what a beautiful day. And we got Trish ushing. You are the mistress of Ush. Oh, look at this. And I got something to put in the basket. Woo, love that, because that allows us to practice the law of circulation, to be in that place and love that place, meaning this place. But we also have some names. These are people who are on our live stream. Audrey, good to see you. Oh, I can't see you. Good to feel you. Colleen, all the way from Illinois. Yeah, Colleen. Gay's watching. Hello, Gay. Sherry. Oh, my gosh. It's so good to know you're there, Sherry. And we got Carol Bliss, of course. And we also have Anita Arakawa. And I also know that there are going to be quite a few other people, because I keep an eye on this, that'll be watching throughout the week, and we're grateful for each and every one of you that see this. So thank you so much. We have a community giving statement that we say together so that we know the importance of who we are and what we receive. Please join me. God is the source of my supply, overflowing supply, and I am grateful. Let's try that again. I can screw it up real easily, can you? Let's try it again. God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful. I am, and so it is.
Michelle. What do you want? Where do you want to go? You'll get what you want if you act as if you know. It starts with you. Do you believe it? It's all in the way that you choose to see it. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, yeah, that you change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 do. When you feel lost and you can't find your way, just keep your eye on the prize. It will materialize. Yes, it will. You can't miss. Change your perception that leads you to a new direction. When you change the way you look at things, yes, the things you look at change. Stand up if you can. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Here we go. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 do. Take it, Michelle. Change, change. You can do it. Change, change. It's a sure thing. Change, change. Expect a miracle. Change. Watch me change. Hey, change the way you look at things. The things you look at change. Change it. If you change the way you look at things, yeah, the things you look at change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 change. Do 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 do. Michelle, hand for Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, we cleared out the aisle. You're free to roll down that thing. Seriously. Come on. Trish, you are so good. Thank you. So, we promise here at Unity of Pasadena to honor your tithes and treasures, to use them with integrity, to bring about a change, not only here, but in the surrounding community, a change of consciousness, a loving consciousness, a consciousness of peace, compassion, and caring. That's who we are. And as we utilize these tithes and treasures to make certain that Unity of Pasadena is strong and vibrant and capable of performing its missions, we do it in great gratitude for your gifts, for your sacrifices, for your goodness. I release this knowing it's already done, and please join me by saying, and so it is, amen. Thank you. So what we're going to do before we eat, and we like to do that too, don't we? I mean, we got people who brought some great stuff. I mean, I've already seen it. I've smelled it too. It's good. We're going to make a couple of quick announcements. First of all, if you want prayer, our prayer chaplains are available for you after service. Just stay in your seat, and a prayer chaplain will come and speak to you and pray with you. We have several prayer chaplains here today. Bill, you're kind of the leader, aren't you? No, Michelle's the leader today. All right, well, hey, well, look at how many leaders we have here, and what it takes to be a leader is just know prayer, have a loving heart, and be connective and harmonizing. So that's what it takes. So just stay in your seat, and one of these magnificent prayer chaplains will come and see you. And we're going to do a silent unity prayer for protection before we sing what song? Peace song. Great. Let's stand up for the silent unity prayer for protection. Please join me. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine, and all is well. Hey, Mitch, can we do I Choose Love instead? Okay, can we do that?
Of course.
It's part of change.
That's right. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.